All right, my beautiful people. This is ERGJ. Your certified financial educator from ERGJ Enterprises here on Facebook Live and also YouTube. So you can catch me at either one of those locations to get the information that you need to know as we move into this week in the stock market. So welcome to Wall Street. It's important that we take a preview of what's to come in the market, so we will be prepared each and every day. So number one, we got the big news is going to obviously be Inauguration Day. So on Friday, Donald Trump will be sworn in as the 45th president of the United States. That's Friday the 20th. Since his election, Trump has shown an uncanny ability to move the markets. If you know, anytime Trump tweets or says anything, a lot of things happen in the market. So this is especially good for those that are day traders or swing traders because you're paying attention to market moves on a regular basis. It's not that big of an impact for those that are long-term investors, but it's still interesting to know to kind of see how the market is going to play out once Trump takes office. So bullish investors, regarded by his pro-business rhetoric, have pushed the Dow closer and closer to 20,000 points. We still haven't crossed that threshold, so that's a historic landmark for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. But the Republicans have also introduced a degree of uncertainty. Trump has made a habit of targeting specific companies on Twitter with little notice. His marks such as Boeing and Lockheed Martin have seen shares plummet as a result. Now, those are two interesting companies, Boeing and Lockheed Martin, of course. They're in the aerospace and defense. They provide airplanes and things like that. So if you're a believer that war is on the horizon, then those shares plummeting could present to you a buying opportunity if you believe that Republicans bring war. Corporate America could be in for a bumpy ride over the next 4 years. Number two, this is a pretty interesting as well. If you remember, it's time for Davos. So they have this Davos, the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. And I think this is on a yearly basis, but this is where a lot of global economics are discussed. So business and political leaders from around the world will convene in Davos, Switzerland on Tuesday to kick off the World Economic Forum. IMF Director Christine Lagarde, Facebook Chief COO Sheryl Sandberg, United Kingdom Prime Minister Theresa May, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and Alibaba founder Jack Ma will be among those in attendance. This year's theme is responsive and responsible leadership. So just think about some of the key players who will be at this meeting. And I'm of the mindset that if you're at this meeting, you're going to be looking out for your best interest as it relates to the economy. So Facebook will be there. Alibaba will be there. And you got your IMF Director, Christine Lagarde. So big news going to be coming out of the World Economic Forum. I don't know how much they're going to release to the public as far as information, what they discussed, the meeting is about. But this is where your global or your world economics, this is what is coming to play. So it's going to be important to kind of keep your ears open, your eyes open for what is to come from this World Economic Forum. The third thing is there's the Wilbur Ross confirmation. So last week we had the confirmation of the Secretary of State, the HUD Director, the Minister of Defense. This week, the Senate will decide whether to confirm billionaire investor Wilbur Ross for Commerce Secretary on Wednesday. He's putting his team together full of millionaires and billionaires, people that have been in his been best buddies with him for quite a while. So Ross is known for buying up distressed and failing companies. He made a name for himself acquiring troubled assets in the steel and coal industry, but has focused more on banks since the 2008 financial crisis. The Senate's hearing for Tom Price, Trump's pick to lead a Health and Human Services Department, is also on Wednesday. Price, an orthopedic surgeon, is an ardent critic of Obama's Affordable Care Act. So Wilbur Ross and his history tells us he's big into buying distressed companies and making them great again. So it'll be interesting to see if he becomes the Secretary of Commerce. What his policies will be, where he's going to be focusing his efforts, and wherever he focuses his efforts, if he becomes the Commerce Secretary, where we can look to see things rise, because he's had a history of helping things come back. Again, the banks, he was in that, and we saw that rise. Back when the coal and steel industries were doing bad, we saw those rise as well. So he has a history of moving into distressed areas or failing companies and then watching them grow. So that would tell me that if he focuses on any particular industry, that we could see a legislature in the favor of those industries, and those industries begin to bounce back. And the way that I look at it is this: we got Republicans that are taking over the House. So whatever the Republicans are for, in my opinion, that's going to be where we'll see the biggest appreciation. And I'm of the mindset the Republicans work opposite of the Democrats. So whatever we saw under Obama to be great booming industries, I think we'll see the opposite. I think those industries will start to fall, and the industries that were bad under the Obama administration, wherever the Republicans focus, we'll begin to see those industries do good. It's a big cycle. It's a big game, but we gotta learn how to play the game. All right, so we got a lot of earnings that'll be coming out this week as well. Goldman Sachs, Netflix, American Express are among the companies reporting this week. Investors will watch Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, and Citibank to see if they match last week's solid reports from JP Morgan, Bank of America. So these are still bank stocks which are reporting their earnings. So we started off with Friday and we're moving into Tuesday. Bank stocks have been on the tear since the election, boosted by the expectation of fewer regulations and rising interest rates when Trump becomes president. Netflix is also likely to garner significant attention when it posts earnings Wednesday. Last quarter, the Wall Street Journal announced it had added 3.6 million subscribers, shattering expectations. The company's stock gained 8% in 2016, hitting all-time high at the beginning of January. So will Netflix continue to beat expectations? Will they continue to soar as they gain more and more subscribers, with people cutting the cord, leaving cable television, and moving towards streaming services? I'm of the mindset they're going to still gain more subscribers. We'll see how they do, and then how the stock actually responds to the information that comes out on Wednesday. So this week, the markets will be closed on Monday for MLK Day. It's a national holiday. They'll reopen on Tuesday. That's when you have the Davos World Economic Forum that begins on that day. That's not just one day. That's probably a week or 2 week forum. You got Morgan Stanley and Tiffany earnings. I could talk about Tiffany a little bit. So Tiffany Company, if you're a person that, that's a jewelry company, it reports on earnings on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you got the Wilbur Ross and Tom Price confirmation, Citi, Goldman Sachs, Netflix earnings. On Thursday, you got the ECB interest rate announcement. So are interest rate going to rise? Are they going to fall? What's going to be the what we're looking at as far as interest rates? Last time they made an announcement, it went up 1/4 point. And we got IBM, American Express earnings. That's all on Thursday. And then Friday is the big day. That's going to be the inauguration of the new president, 45th President Donald J. Trump. So that's what we have coming up this week in the market. This is ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator. Also remember that we have the oil investment session Tuesday evening. So if you're interested in joining us for Ticker Talk Tuesday to learn, to really discuss oil, to build an oil watch list, and try and locate some investment opportunities in oil, then you want to join us for that session. I've left that in the link in the comments above or below. And so I look forward to meeting with you guys to talk about money on Tuesday night. Anyway, this is ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator. Thanks so much for tuning in. Remember, I want you guys to remember our motto: own more, owe less. That's our motto for this year. I'll catch up with you guys soon.